welcome. I know we're just going live, so I'm gonna give it a second before we do the intro. How's everybody feeling tonight, y'all? How we feeling?
Good.
Pretty good. Good.
Good.
Yeah.
Waiting on the comeback.
Yeah.
On what comeback?
That's what I'm saying. You
Waiting
can be
on the
waiting for a
comeback.
while.
You know when you see it. You know.
I hope you
I
ain't
thought
talking
you was
about your boy, huh? What comeback you talking about?
Wait, I'm getting prepared for the zombie apocalypse on November 3rd. I think the zombie apocalypse starting November 3rd. You better get prepared.
So you waiting for 2020's grand finale, basically. This
Yeah,
year's about to go out with a bang.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Makes sense. James, brother, question. Do you have a live link you can text me because I want to share it with a couple people. So if you have a live for the YouTube, if possible. But yes, fellas, all right, so we always try to give it a minute or so as we come in and let people catch on. We know what this is. So I'm gonna bring us in with the intro. All right, welcome everybody to another episode of The Bridge. This week we coming at you with a part 2. Okay, these are myths between Black Americans, Caribbeans, and Black people from all over the diaspora. So we had this conversation 2 weeks ago now, and it was so popping that we had to do another one. Tonight we have a special guest. We have Marie, Miss Peaches Huntley in the building. I'm going to give her a second after I introduce everybody else to introduce herself and tell us a little bit about herself. She's a longtime friend, very near and dear to the heart. I call her sis because, that's family right there. But let me introduce the regular group of fellas. These are the common faces. We see them every day, every week. We know who they are. Starting out going to my right. I don't know where he's at on your screen, but I got Mr. James Howard, our producer extraordinaire. The brother who keeps all of this together, he gets us right every week. Coming down, going counterclockwise, we have clockwise, not counterclockwise. We have Chef Irie. So Chef Irie is our resident, especially in tonight's thing. He's our resident Caribbean, so he's gonna be putting us on the game. You know what I'm saying? And we like to call him Mr. Wisdom because he always dropping that knowledge on us. And then lastly, definitely not talking least, is Rashad Henderson here. Mr. Moneywise himself. Rashad is our financial guy, but he's also our resident. Just call you out, talk to you, run his mouth. We like it. You'll see how that goes. And now for our special guest, Miss Marie Peaches Huntley. Go ahead and tell the people about yourself, what you do, who you are, all the good stuff.
Peaches, where you at, Peaches? Hey.
We are all her. We are all her waiting on Peaches.
Wait, did we lose Marie? Did we lose you?
Can y'all hear me?
Oh, now we can? All right, cool. There you go.
Sorry about that. I was trying to get in the house so that I can have a conversation a little bit better. I was driving in those mountains, y'all. But I'm Marie, Miss Peaches. I am, again, like Big Bruh said, we family down there. We done a lot together. Community activist, CEO of my own nonprofit, and now I'm out here in Colorado trying to amp it up just a little bit more. Never stay out the fight, but always bring the fight where it need to be. So
Colorado.
Yeah.
Black people out in Colorado, girl?
I think I picked the right time to come, but Lord have mercy, I'm in the wrong valley.
It's all good.
You see the wrong valley. We're gonna make it through the valley. It's gonna be all right, Peaches. Like I said, we're gonna make it through the valley.
I believe that I'm gonna prevail. I do believe
That's right. That's right. Yeah, though I may walk in the valley.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's right. So that's me in a nutshell.
Well, come on, Miss Peaches. You kind of abridged that, man. Give us some a rundown, a little bit of your resume, because you got some joints up there.
Well, I mean, I'm a grassroots mobilizer. events and things of that sort. Criminal justice major. Let's see, I'm a certified paralegal, but I have set up some, back in Florida, I did a whole lot of work back in Florida with, in the community and with, Big Brother. And I just want to make sure that, I give props where props is due, because a lot of what I did couldn't be done without him and my sister Karen. So we did a whole lot of pushing on what's equitable for the communities and what that looks like. And they brought that food part in. I brought that privilege and that justice for Black peace in there. Then we added the kids in that piece to include them. So I was a part of Awkward Dinners, which brings cultures to the table, all cultures to the table. We eat dinner, and then we have that awkward conversation that nobody likes to have. And it leads into us understanding more about each other's background, who we are, where we come from. And that was by 360 down in Miami. And I don't want to say that wrong, but you know where I'm coming from. And then I also co-founded what we call the She Lens, what's sustainable, equity, healthy and equitable for any community we go into, because, we got to make sure that minorities, we got to make sure that we building on building upstream instead of keeping on going backwards and downstream into places that we know we can't get out of. I'm not that type of person don't come complain to me. What do you want to do? Mm-hmm. What's the solution? And where we going from there? If I got to get out there and stand on the podium and open my mouth to start it off, y'all better be behind me.
Yeah, no, like guys.
That's a great way to start it off.
It is. And I want us to remember that She Lens, because I want us to bring that back in regards to when we start talking about Dumphy, the dummy in chief. I want us to talk about the She Lens, because what Marie created was a way for political people to evaluate decisions that would affect their community. And she called it the She Lens. And it is really, really dope. It's a super amazing tool that can be used. It can be applied anywhere. So I want us to run something through the She Lens later on in this conversation. Because that was, yeah.
Is Peaches, is there a website for that you got for that, or is that just you got a link for that, Mike?
Yeah, C, like C for Charlie, C4Charlie.org. CCC. Yeah.
Okay, it's kind of catchy. You got to roll off your tongue. What was you saying 3 times fast, Ari? Caribbean something. Wait, CCC. Yep. Nope. I ain't get it.
I was get ready to say by the seashore.
Yeah. I was on
CCC by the seashore with the seashells for the seashop.
Yeah, I just put it in a comment section just so we can add that as a reference right quick. Come back.
Thank you, sir. You're so helpful. I appreciate you.
And Rashad, that was developed while I was on my run for city commissioner.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So I did run for city commissioner of District 3 back in Fort Lauderdale, where I live.
Okay.
You almost got it as a first time campaigner. Almost took it.
Hey, look, the truth is the truth. You know what I mean? So you see the truth. You got to go for it.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of the truth, we are talking about the myths between Black Americans, Caribbeans, and other people from the diaspora. What truths do we talk? Okay. I got a truth to start us out with, right? So earlier today, I'm driving Lyft, and this girl who's a nurse, right? She's a nurse for a school. So she called, the kid has all the symptoms for COVID. So she pulls the kid out and is like, hey, to the mom, you got to come get your daughter. And the mother's like, what? She should be fine. She's like, no, she got all the symptoms. The mother responds to it, no, she's going to be good. I done took her to the ocean. Uh-oh. Mom Caribbean, she done took her, put some salt water on it.
Washed it all off.
Rubber testing in a second.
Oh, listen.
I've heard.
Wash it all off.
Yeah, even for eczema, I learned that from my hairdresser, who was my hairdresser for probably 20 something years. She's a Rasta. and she actually taught me how to do hair. And she taught me that. But my son had eczema, and whenever he would break out and he have all these lesions on his arms and stuff like that, I couldn't understand why. What is all this with eczema? He's scratching and all this. They tried to give me this pink calamine lotion. Y'all know that lotion they give to you to put on, but that made him much more itchier. So she said, go put him in the beach. And I said, you sure that's gonna work? And she said, it's probably gonna burn the hell out of him, but it's gonna work. And I put him in that beach water. My baby screamed and cried, and I screamed and cried with him. But probably a month later, after going back, my son is 24 today, not a sign of eczema.
Okay. So Mythbuster style. Is this myth busted?
Well, I don't know if it works for everything, but I'm just saying, yes, when we was kids and mama took you to the beach, we wasn't there to learn how to swim. We were there to get a sea bath. And we talking stand you up in the ocean, get that water in the hand and sop upon your chest, sop upon your head, and then she'll put some in her palm of her hands and have you inhale that seawater up your nostrils and you're dying like After that, you can go splash out and everything.
That's that Game of Thrones. That's that.
There you go. This was like 6:30 in the morning too. The water is cold as crap, and you like freezing. Yeah, but a good sea bath, man. When you have a cold, just go down to the ocean and just inhale that sea. Yeah. Woo.
My wife believes that.
Yo, I will say this: that water. I can't speak to the eczema, but I will say this: when you got a cold, seawater will work. Yeah, that ocean water, because I would go swimming in the morning. That cold water is actually proven. The cold water kick up your antibodies. Yeah. It will actually boost your antibodies and start make your body go into to shock and force your body to increase your white blood cell count. But yeah, swimming in that open ocean, it'll get you right. It'll get you right. So I'm gonna say it's not busted. So yeah.
So country boy, Mr. James, you ain't got nothing to add to this one?
Oh no, nah, because I believe in it. Don't you see my hair? Don't you see my hair?
Yeah, that's your ocean right there, bro.
I'm a drink to that one. I'm a drink to that one.
Yeah,
salute.
So get all the spirits off you.
There you go.
You know what? That should be our next one. Because Caribbeans, Africans, and Black people believe you can have some spirits on you. My family called it the roots.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? The roots. They put them roots on you, boy. You better be careful. Don't let that woman cook your food. She get a piece of your hair. She gonna drop it in your food. Put the roots on you.
They put that root on you. Listen. We was so most if you Black in America, your family more than likely from the South. So when I was trying to figure out what schools to go to, I actually passed up opportunity to go to the University of Miami because I thought I was going to get a root put on me. My dad was like, "Don't you go down south, boy? You get one of the guys who put a root on you. You wake up with 6 toes. You wake up with 6 on 1 foot. You'll be all messed up.
You already messed up.
Yeah.
And then I ended up here anyway. Get down there. Get down there. One of them girls put a root on you. You better leave her alone.
But at least, so in terms of not just mythology, but in terms of the things that we believe in the Caribbean, obviously, almost everything that from the supernatural and the spiritual was passed down from our ancestors. So, from the slaves they brought with them, their beliefs and their religion and their rituals and the things that they did. And even to this day, some of them are still practiced in limited forms, it not just in Jamaica, but in various parts of the Caribbean. And when you talk about from everything from death and dying and everything that surrounds that, to the belief that based on who you are as an individual, people will, Jamaican people, and I think Caribbean people, and I think even now I've heard it here in the States, when people say, boy, my spirit just can't take that person there. Whatever it is that comes with that, there's something that, that says something about you and me, we just not gonna get along because it's my spirit just don't take you, and I can find it in the Bible somewhere where it's gonna say that.
Amen.
Amen. Yes. So yeah, that roots, but Rashad, that roots thing, son, ain't no joke. People, occult and the fifth dimension, yes, it is a real thing.
Hey yo, Ari,
that's like putting your crystals out in the moonlight.
You had somebody put a root on you.
Nah, man, but I know who to go to if I want to do it.
Hey, don't be playing with people, bro. Look at.
But then you got the sorcerer and you got the sorcerer and with all that black.
Not even by sorcerer, but obviously, there's always two, good and evil, yin and yang, heaven and earth, all that good stuff. So if you believe in heaven, or the belief that there's heaven, there's the supernatural in evil as well. So then there are people who really, really, truly believe about the things that evil personifies and the spirits that they're able to draw upon. So people in Caribbean countries and South American countries, and of course African countries, they don't take it lightly because there's probably evidence of things that you see happen in people through people that says, this shit ain't no joke. So some people might not believe it, and there's no such thing as X, Y, and Z. But I've been privy to to some things, and you just can't have an explanation for certain things growing up in Jamaica, and this, I would say that's not a myth. I'm always confident in saying that's not a myth.
I'm gonna jump in and agree with you, Ari, and so much so that I'm gonna go ahead and say it now. Florida got zombies. Okay. We all know that Florida got zombies.
Okay. Marie was born and raised there. Marie, what we talking about, Marie? How y'all feeling in Florida?
Nah, that's not happening. You talking about the Molly heads?
Yeah, I'm gonna say not zombies, because I don't know where. I forget what Miss Lady name is for the fact check, but I do know that zombies. They say zombies derived from the culture in Haiti when they're raising dead people to be their pets or something like that. I don't know how true it is, but definitely not Florida. I don't think
all those traditions, Miss Peaches, they travel.
Well, I got this right here.
Go ahead, get it, Jay. Get it, Jay.
I got a neighbor that grew up in our neighborhood, and he believed he got a root put on him, and he went goddamn crazy. But when I say he went down crazy, he looked, to this day when he walked down the street, he looked like Bucky from Fat Out.
He probably believed that stuff, and the mind
is powerful.
If you got a malleable mind and something that you're easily persuadable, yeah.
But when you
I'm gonna share it to you. This is what he looked like right now.
Go ahead. So what do you look like, Bucky?
You just say his hair cut back all the way to the back of his head.
Yeah. How your boy forehead get that big?
He cut it like that.
Hey, that's what it is.
Listen, why did the barber listen to him though? Why did the barber listen?
The barber does
supposed
not do it. He does it himself. I guarantee you, he has to do it himself.
Hey, listen, that's that. He wanted to show he a thinker. But and then this is what I'm saying though, because Florida got zombies because they got that they still doing all of them different types of drugs, and that's what I was talking about, especially when we had that Flocka.
That Flocka? No,
Flocka.
Yeah, but Flocka doesn't make a person a zombie. It just makes a person less themselves. A zombie is something that comes back from the dead.
Look.
They make them act like a zombie.
They look like the living dead. I've been to some places down here. Okay, they be on that corner looking like the living dead. Man, listen, I went through a neighborhood, all right, because when I started out in the insurance industry, I was door to door. I was the traveling salesman. All right, and I've been through some neighborhoods. I went to a neighborhood where I saw a man who was so strung out. This man on the corner, standing still like a statue, okay, in his socks, okay, and underwear, no shirt, with his shorts on his head like a hat. You hear me? And I drove to my appointment, gave these folks the policy, came back, and you know he was still there. I drove and hit a U-turn because I was trying to figure out what he was looking at across the street. I was like, what the hell is this man what is he looking at? Okay, that's my first experience with that Flocka. I was like, I don't know. Whenever whenever you type Florida man, you see stuff like that. That's them zombies. You got real life zombies in Florida. Okay,
so on that one, Rashad. There ain't no zombies now. There's a difference in being strung out and then actually being zombified. You know.
Well, yes.
True.
That's as close as I ever been. I don't want to get no more close than that.
I'm glad you did, because they very strong too when they on Flocka. They got hero strength for some strange reason.
Well, trust me, Rashad, if you wouldn't even want to be close to anything that was a real zombie, okay.
I'm telling you.
got to go.
Yeah,
I know that it's it has some of it has to do with the tetrodotoxin that's used in
the nerve agent.
The nerve agents. Yeah, the nerve agent, and but those are all practices. Those are all things that are related to nature and spirits, and Christianity ain't the only form of religion out here.
Nope. Listen, all of that stuff. There's some fact for all of that. Which leads me to my next one. Okay. Now, I personally have subscribed to this one over the years.
Okay.
If you have an ailment, from your knee hurting, okay, to a headache, to a sour stomach, to even a cold, Irie, tell me what your grandma gonna say.
Get you some Cersei bush, bro.
Okay, that one. But what's the other one? She gonna tell you to go get you some tea. She got a tea for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cersei.
And see, now, here's what my gripe is with my people. Growing up, okay, let's go from present to backwards. So present day, there is a remedy for everything found in plants. And growing up, our elders knew this. And so when they would say, go do X, Y, and Z, they were subscribing to relying on personal, the personal experiences through trial and error, and so they were expert in plant life and its effects on the body, you know. So when they would grab 2, 3 bushes and they would either make a poultice or put them together, you know, growing up, most of us as kids weren't sick. You know, that I can tell you. You know, we only became sick for the most part when we started relying on modern medicine.
Yep.
You know, because we had, you know, something, you know, like, you know, as children, you know, you're susceptible because your body has not, you know, gotten, you know, that strength it needs. So you're susceptible to a whole bunch of things, you know, and then when you start going to, you know, relying on modern medicine, you know, that changes everything for you. You know, your body, you start ingesting all this stuff because they say you need to ingest it, you know, so that does start that trend, you know, but most people that grow up, you know, relying on remedies through plant-based and have adhered to that measure. When you look, I see 70-year-old people looking like they're 40, you know, and you're just like, what? Yeah, there's a lady that lives in Miami Gardens right now, her and her husband. She's 70 something, and I forgot how old he is, but I swear to God, Chad, I'm telling you, bro.
They look.
I know she got some young brothers out there.
You over here? Damn, Miss Parker.
Listen, black don't crack. That's all that is. Black don't crack. That's all.
Hey, Miss Parker.
Hey, Miss Parker.
Another thing, African American too. Our parents used to, we didn't rely on Tylenol and all that stuff either. It was something called Father John and castor oil.
Yeah, Father's John. Yeah.
And I'm telling you, if you took it, they would add more stuff to it. Like,
yeah, that'll clear up everything, Father's John.
You finna drink, you know,
that bottle, that square bottle.
So
liniment. Oh,
with the cinnamon tape. But my grandma was like, that cinnamon, you liking it too much and it ain't helping you. So I got to add extra to it. So she'll make this tea and she'll mix it. And she'll mix it. And by the time you got finished drinking that and you wake up, Lord have mercy.
Yeah.
You got crap in your head. You tell them no, you don't want to drink castor oil. That's oil, Grandma.
That castor oil stuff as a kid.
We use that Father John for everything except surgery. That's we.
That damn square bottle.
Yo, and you know what? Also, food. I mean, like I was saying, I really didn't get into teas until I moved down to Florida. But just food in general, we ate a lot of seafood, like raw oysters and stuff like that. A lot of fish, you know what I'm saying, to strengthen your immune system and get your protein right. You know, a lot greens on every dish. You had to have some type of green, whether it was collard greens, kale, you know, peas or whatever. You know, so beans and ham hocks. You know, a lot of food.
So see, when we were growing up, you know, like how at the end of every summer, you know, they recommend that you take your kid to go get a check before you go into school. I don't know if it's mandatory here or what. But our checkup in the islands. So you know, summertime you off, you ain't gotta worry about that. You are eating all kind of crap. You eating all kind of fruits. You eating literally all kind of crap. And I guarantee you, that week before school, does not, you know, your parents start to get you in the mindset time to go back to school because now you get prepped. You bought your new uniforms, and you thought about getting your books and stuff. So the final thing, you gotta get a washout. You gotta get a washout. And we talking the purge. You gotta get a purge. So castor oil was part of that purge. And there was a herb, and the dread referred to it as mudger herb. And mudger herb was a mixture of different herbs that will send you to the bathroom after they give it to you as tea, and sometimes mix it with cream soda to sort of sweeten the taste. Yes, so that week before school starts, we don't care where you are, where you at, who you've been vacationing with, you're getting a washout. And usually you're going to get it on Saturday. Yeah, that Saturday you're going to get it. And you're sort of out of commission for the whole day.
You clean your whole system out.
Yeah, clean your system out. Because when you go back to school, you want to be, we're going to wait a whole nother year. Because now you're going to ingest a whole nother year of crap. But yeah, and so you would get literally flushed out and be ready for the next school year, and I think that was one of the things that probably kept most of us healthy, because it's almost like you got like a regular purge every year or sometimes twice a year. Yeah, and I think here everybody, you don't hear that. The only time you hear people talk about it is if they go to the doctor and like, I'm stressed out, I can't go to the bathroom. So there's like, here's some gentle relax. No, we need, something vigorous. Flush that colon.
Isn't that crazy though? How like there's so many things that we think. I guess now we can look back and think about it. We may not have appreciated it then, but now that we're a little more old, now that we're older, and we look at those traditions, man, that's a lot of the stuff, a lot of the health consciousness, is really in the food. A lot of our really healthy, our health habits are in eating decent food, or with the flushing out and stuff is
the washout.
The washout.
You need a washout, man. You need a washout. But you're starting to tap into something that's a whole different kind of series. When you talk about the food we're eating and all that good stuff, that's a whole nother show and topic of discussion.
We should put that down.
Hey, we got two chefs up here. We got two chefs.
I mean, yeah, we need to jump into that. I want to eventually. I'm gonna buy Buddy's book. I think his name is called Mike. He's Michael Twitty or something like that.
Yeah, he's Michael Twitty.
Yeah, the dude who
I just posted something about him. Posted something about him because he had posted something about Hercules, who was the first. So the first classically trained chef in America was a black man.
I can believe that.
And Michael Twitty, his name is Hercules. Okay. And Michael Twitty had put up an article about it, so I just reposted it maybe last week. And Michael Twitty's got some good information.
Yeah,
so when there's always that discussion about mac and cheese, and
Hercules,
they always bring up Hercules' name and the way he made mac and cheese, which was designed in America, and right. but he also the other chefs that came after him, I think they instituted the French way of making mac and cheese with the roux. So, and of course you have two sides, two sets of people.
You got two,
or the French, and so people have their choices and their preferences. I was taught how to make it, the French way,
with the roux.
And with the roux.
But Southern people, we had to put the egg in there. We had the macaroni pie.
Yeah, you're right.
It wasn't mac and cheese, macaroni pie.
Yes.
Don't forget the milk.
And the milk, we use the milk. The milk melted down, and my mama make a mac and cheese cost $50 just for the cheese alone.
Cheese alone, bro.
Just for the cheese. I was like, how much damn cheese you put in there?
A lot.
Yo. We go buy. You go buy six things of Kraft cheddar and everything else. She give me a whole grocery list just for the mac and cheese.
So that's a good one.
That's the difference from having macaroni cheese and macaroni pie.
Being from the Caribbean, there is a big difference. A lot of Caribbean countries do make macaroni pie or something similar to macaroni and pie. So the cheesy, way of making mac and cheese, I think that's derived definitely from from Hercules and from the French style of making mac and cheese.
Okay.
Go ahead, Marie. You were trying to jump in there.
Oh no, I was just saying that he was right, Mr. J. That was
But what Rashad, what you were saying when you started to tap into our foods and things that are happening to us because of our foods, I wholeheartedly believe that. Okay. And the reason that if there was no was it Monsanto? They've changed their name. And if there weren't any pieces about GMOs and non-GMOs, but think of what food was like, shoot, 100 years ago. Just 100 years ago. We don't want to go further back than that. Just 100 years ago, and to think what those heritage seeds and what those seeds produced. And when you think of foods now, and think of what corporations are doing to our foods, and how, because a lot of the foods and a lot of the things that they're doing to the foods is adverse to how our bodies should be reacting to them. I think we're not digesting them properly. Our bodies are not absorbing the way they should be, because a lot of the food has been changed. It has been modified.
Can I go rabbit hole real quick with y'all? I know we're supposed to be talking about myths, but do I have permission, everybody, to just jump in a quick rabbit hole?
All right, you got 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
We here now. You better use 30 seconds.
Okay. Look, right? The poverty cycle in the U.S., I believe, starts with food. I believe they specifically set up communities of color with inferior food and inferior access to healthy foods, because if kids are going to school hungry, if mothers are giving birth to malnourished babies, you know what I'm saying? All of this stuff, it has an impact, right? It has an impact from birth through death, in terms of how our capacity to learn, our capacity to grow healthy, our then hereditary diseases, and then how much we're going to be spending on medications and preventative care and really maintenance as we get older. I believe that shit is all connected.
It is. So, and I'm gonna jump right in there with you and take it one level further down this hole. It's tied to the land, and it's tied to that lack of nutrition or food option, right? It's directly tied to our land. Like my grandma, when she was younger, when she could, even growing up as a kid in the North, she grew her own okra in her backyard. She grew green tomatoes. She grew snap peas in her backyard. We didn't have a big area, but we had a little spot where I would go get her greens and stuff from, and she would cook. When those issues, the food deserts and things like that are there because we don't have land wealth. I mean, we come from a community of people that we cook. Black folks cook. I don't know too many black folks that don't know or don't cook themselves. So,
but they have ordinances, as you say, the land. They have ordinances in some places now where you can't grow stuff on like in your front yard.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you can't grow your fruits and vegetables like you used to.
There was one. I know there was one in Coral Gables, and this lady actually took the case.
It wasn't in Coral Gables. It was in Miami Shores.
It was in Miami Shores,
and I know them. I know them personally.
Okay, so yeah, she sued the city or something like that, right?
Yeah, they started growing their foods. They were growing vegetables and all that stuff, and they advanced some of the stuff in the front of the yard because that's where the sun had much emphasis. And then the city came in and told them that they couldn't. and there was like, why? And they kept getting fines, and the city let them down eventually, and then they eventually sued the city. And I think the case went on for like a couple years,
Yeah.
and they prevailed. And saying that, I forgot what the ruling was, but they said they can't not you can not allow people to utilize your house, because it wasn't, and not
Their damn
allow them to
house.
be able to do what they can do, in their own homes.
Well, Ari, as you say that, we can't collect water. You can't collect rainwater legally right now.
In the United States.
In Florida, at least. I don't know if it's the whole United States, but in Florida, you can't collect rainwater.
Really?
Really?
I didn't
Yep.
know that.
Yep.
I don't know.
You will get a fine.
I don't know if I don't know if I'd want to collect Florida rainwater, but okay.
Hold on one second, Chad. In South Florida, or maybe South Florida and Central Florida, you can't, but North Florida you can.
Okay. See, but these are the things though, right? Like as Rashad was saying about the land, they have taken self-sufficiency away. Like, yo, we talk about modern day slavery and we always talk about the prison system, but we forget the systems that are in place in society, that are basically without the bars. Them taking our self-sufficiency away, our ability to grow our own foods and provide for ourselves. Because back in the day, our diets, we were mostly vegetarian and vegan. And now when you hear Black people talking about vegan, it sounds like it's a new thing. It's not a new thing. Soul food roots were mostly vegetarian and vegan because you had to go out and get meat. You know what I'm saying? You had to go out and get milk or dairy. You had to churn the butter and make the cheese.
Right.
It wasn't like this. So our diets were very, very different. And genetically, we've evolved to still be on diets similar to that. Not on all this process what we're doing right now. And I know I'm rabbit holing again.
Yeah, no, but that
Hold on, Rashad. Let Miss Peaches jump in there. She wanted to say something.
And to piggyback on what Chad was saying about the access, that's what they did. They restricted and took the access away. So right now, what you see people doing when they want to try to grow their own food now, because there's a limitation on what you can do on your own property for as far as land use when it comes to growing your own crops. You have to actually, and especially down in South Florida where I come from, you either have to go and buy a plot and start to grow your stuff on that plot, or either you just don't. So they've taken that access away too, and they've also added price tags to produce where you want to continue to get fresh produce and stuff like that you can't grow on your own. So a lot of food deserts are in place, especially in Florida, because of that reason. And people, and then the access to the transportation for them to get to what they need as well. So it's a lot that ties into the food deserts, or the access to healthier options in food.
I want to piggyback on what Miss Peaches said, because I think me and her are the only two that actually grew up in Florida. And I can remember my grandparents having fruit trees in their yard. It got to a point that the county came around to cut down all the fruit trees because they said white flies, but it wasn't that serious. They just did that to cut down the trees, so you have to go to the stores to get the produce.
Right.
Because Black people had it in their yard.
See, that's that bullshit.
Yeah.
Because this could go to a myth too, right? But it's not really a myth. I know this is similarity. Because my mom told me when she was growing up, they would go outside and they just ate from the trees. So they didn't come home to snack. They ate from the trees. And I know in the islands, it was similar because I hear my wife talk about that.
Yeah.
They eat from the trees.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so when James said that rings so true, man, that they would just cut it down. Like, that's crazy, bro. That's
but that is true, because me and my wife can tell you, growing up and going to the country, That's what we did.
Yeah.
We went out there and ate right off the tree, off the vine.
Yeah, when I was growing up, we had my one of my friends. He had a pecan tree in his backyard, and then there was in the neighborhood where I grew up, we had a blackberry tree, and then there was a cherry tree and a peach tree. So literally, you could be out in the summertime and not come back home until the street lights came on.
Right.
Because all your food, you climb the tree, you get your exercise, you get your food, and everything else outside.
And you drank from the water hose.
That was summertime.
Yo, you drank from the water hose.
That was summertime for us too. So because I grew up surrounded by sugarcane, like literally. The house, the two houses. My dad was a bookkeeper, and the other guy, was another bookkeeper. And so it was just those two houses. But as a kid, I was literally surrounded by sugarcane fields. So during summer, before summer, sugarcane. You want sugarcane? All I had to do was I literally walk out of my house and just step right into the sugarcane field, cross in the sugarcane field. I could pop one, pop two, whatever. If I ate that, so the crazy thing is when you ate it in the middle of the day, that if you had so much of it and the sun, literally you felt like the sun was fermenting the sugarcane juice inside you. So you literally got sort of, punch drunk, if you would, from but so literally. But summertime, it's mango season, Otaiti apple season, Neesberry season. Oh, you name the fruit that was in the island, we eat. Just like you said, Rashad. When I went to the country to go visit my cousins, we be out, we be gone forever. Sometimes we might go down by the river, we go catch fish, and if we don't feel like going home, we figure out how to get that fish scaled, gutted, and make some kind of fire, and we roasted some fish. We can find some bananas and find something to put that thing in as a pot. We boil a banana, and if we were planning right, we would have brought some flour, we would have bought some oil and some salt. Because you never know, you might pop off and you want to, as we would call it, run a boat. So run a boat is that you just spontaneously, whatever you had and could get together, you had to make some utensils, one pot, build a fire, 3 stones, and put that pot on, and you cook it some. You might have been able to go get some chicken back, whatever, some canned goods, and in the bushes, you're cooking out in the bushes. You don't need to come home. Child, please.
I would have never been home, bro.
Ain't nobody coming home.
And Chad, what do you see now in Florida? What do you see now? You see that they've chopped those trees down, Mr. J, from those families, especially Black families who had their own sorts of producing vegetables and fruit. And now what we see as, I can truly say, I know Chad has seen it too, that what they're doing is they're building all these pocket parks, and they're putting fruit trees in these pocket parks. Now, you can't have it on your own land, but it's accessible through the city's land,
I can hardly hear the speeches.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Chad.
No, go ahead, James. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, well, it's a little different too through gentrification, because you see in the white areas sometimes they're allowed to grow that stuff now again, and it's like now you see you can go have an orange tree. You might not see it in your neighborhood, but you can see it in the other's neighborhood. And that's part of them having a healthier what do you want to say, healthier background, being able to get food and all that, like we can't get in our areas.
Right.
And as far as transportation, they put them up there, and they're putting stipulations on who can come on that particular into that business, or you cannot get your children running around trying to get fruits off the trees and things of that sort. So as they're gentrifying these areas, they're putting up this stuff that was already there, trying to pretend like they're providing the access.
Well, you know that's they famous for that. Listen, they'll take an old idea, polish it up, clean it up, repackage it, put a new label on it, and push it back to you like it was brand new and it was their idea. Famous.
Yeah, that's the hustle, and just put and just add a few restrictions. You know, a couple permits, price folks out of the market so they can't do it themselves, and then literally sell you back your own product.
Right.
Literally sell you back your own damn product and make it illegal for you to have it.
Do you think people in Fiji are drinking Fiji water?
You know,
people in Fiji is drinking the spring. They straight in the spring. They straight.
I was just using your example, but you know what's crazy is I think we're at a good segue point because we talking about the hustle. I got to call a spade a spade. Listen, the bridge wouldn't be the bridge if we didn't have a little bit of political speech on this joint. So I got to call a spade, and I'm saying I think Hustle Man #1, the Orange in Chief, with this whole I got Corona thing.
The Orange Assassin.
Hustle Man.
Yeah.
The Orange Assassin.
Speaking of the hustle, getting your shit and selling it back to you. Hey, look, America, I beat it. You could beat it too. Really?
Even though I'm dying over here.
Yo, since we're gonna go there.
Oh, Irie,
go ahead, Jay.
Motherfucker, did you even have it?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, something's wrong with him. I don't know if he had it, but something was wrong with him.
Something been wrong with him all his life.
There you go.
Okay, drop the mic right there. Drop the mic right there.
Jay. There you go.
Drop the mic right there. Yeah, man. Yeah,
but they ain't got no cure for that. They ain't found a cure for that.
They haven't. Yes.
But my thing is, look, man. He hasn't beat it, right? He just literally hocked up on steroids. He got his own form of flocka running through his system right now. Okay, this man, look, in the virus attacks your respiratory system, okay, your lungs. The what they do in order to help that, really, because you can't. There's no cure for this disease. They're just trying to suppress the symptoms to let your body fight it. So the way doctors or the medical community that does that is, one, forces oxygen down your throat, i.e. that ventilator, and then pumps your body with steroids to open up your lungs and your blood vessels to receive said oxygen. Okay, so he was on the ventilator. That's why they was talking about the oxygen, and then they with all of these damn medications to get him to walk. He a zombie.
You saw
But all I'm saying is he walking around. We got the resurrector in chief running for office. People gonna vote for him because they think this man is Jesus right now, guaranteed.
Well,
I'm gonna leave it at that.
But you see his ass almost pass out, right? Sorry, go ahead, James. My bad. Bro.
But you see that he want to suspend the stimulus talk until after the election, but you don't want to suspend the
POTUS appointment.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Because that to them is more important than the lives of we the people.
Yeah,
We the people.
That's what you call it? That's blackmail and racketeering.
Right.
I ain't giving you I ain't giving you the money that you done paid me, right? This is taxpayer money. So you don't want to give me my money back?
No,
until I elect you again?
They don't believe that you're deserving of it. It doesn't matter how many people get evicted. It doesn't matter how many people are unemployed. Doesn't matter how many people who are dying. Doesn't matter how many people who can't afford to go to the doctor because they have no insurance. None of it matters. Give me that SCOTUS on the Supreme Court, and we happy.
Yeah, because they want to make sure that he gets reelected if the shit hits the fan.
Well, I have a problem with his statement in the first place, because when you say, I have instructed my people to suspend talk, your people is the Senate and the Congress, right? That's not your people.
Right.
They don't work for you. They work for us,
exactly.
the people.
They're supposed to be your checks and balances.
Yeah, right. They work for us. They don't work for you. And that in that statement in itself means that shows how he's not thinking of us. He's only thinking about what he wants.
Let's put it like this. All right. I'm put it like this. In the Civil War, okay, in the Civil War, there's approximately 600,000 deaths. All right. In 4 years. Since March to October, in 7 months, this man has assisted and allowed 200,000. You telling me this motherfucker done killed more people in 7 months than the country at war killed in 4 years? And then you're going to turn around and vote for him. What was that? Then you're going to turn around and vote for him. All right. Say what?
How many people died in the Civil War?
About five. It's actually about 500,000 on both sides. The Vietnam War was about 60,000. Korean War was somewhere around 20.
All the modern, yeah, we've eclipsed all the modern day wars in terms of the amount of people.
More people have died in 7 months than every war since the Korean War. Okay, more people have died in 7 months than the last 70 years put together in modern warfare.
That's crazy.
Put those numbers together. You got 200,000 deaths. Only 1 million people have died globally. We have damn near 25% of the world's death rate.
Cases. And death rate, yeah.
I watched the article. I watched an interview with the leader of the World Health Organization, who's African, by the way. Gentleman from I don't know which country he's from in Africa.
That's why Trump don't trust his ass.
Hello, but they ain't putting that out. Now the Fox News nor MSN, the left or the right, they really ain't say, well, you know the guy who the world trusts is a black man. They ain't say that. They ain't want to say that on TV. But them shithole countries, okay?
We got Dr. Fauci, Rashad. We got Fauci. What? We got Fauci, bro.
Yeah. We ain't even gonna go there. But them shithole countries, okay, we have 10 times the death toll of those shithole countries that he don't want to let people into.
Right.
So, quote unquote, those are his words, by the way. You're paraphrasing for him. You're not calling them shithole countries. You're saying what he has said.
All I'm saying is we need some more black folks in this country so these motherfuckers can get some common sense. Because you telling me you got how many countries? Africa is damn near twice the size of America. With 1/10 of the spending power. and they have 1/10 of the death toll. Come on, man. Come on, man. Something wrong with that.
Well,
something wrong with that.
You know, COVID is a true case where our privilege worked against us.
No, COVID is racism. COVID is racism. COVID is racism. That's because the people, black folks is still dying from racism. Okay, black folks is the main people, and minorities is the main people that's dying from COVID, right? And go ahead.
No, but see, what's going to happen is he has turned, like Irie was saying, like Mr. James is saying, right? He's turned this pandemic into a political weapon. He shifted the narrative and the focus, right? People aren't going to talk about how many people died. They're going to be talking for the next week. Look at the president. He survived it. Look at his wife. She survived it. And then if you notice, like dominoes, there's 12 or 13 other high-ranking Republican or left-leaning people that have right-leaning people, not left-leaning people, that have now all of a sudden became positive, they've contracted the disease. Listen, what happens is
he's patient zero.
He is patient zero, so we can contact trace right to his ass. But he is shifting the narrative. Mm-hmm. He's like, hey, look, Americans, watch this hand so I can slap you with this one. Bruh. He's getting ready. November 3rd, he already told us. He said a couple of statements. He said, one, stand by, stay ready, right? To the Proud Boys.
That's the zombie apocalypse right there.
That was one, right? Then he said he would not denounce white supremacy. And then 3, your boy was like, if they fix these ballots, there won't be a need for me to step down and have a peaceful transition.
Yeah, because if you get rid of the ballots, if you get rid of the ballots, there won't be a need to have this foolish.
In Texas, you're already working on it. In Texas, you got 1 drop box per county right now. 1 drop box per county in Texas. What do you call it? Harris County, the city that has the county that has Houston. Mm-hmm. No, that county has more people than the state of Rhode Island and Maine together.
Yep.
Okay.
And you should go by the arena to drop off your box for people who live. Average distance.
Nah, we got to go vote in person. You got to go vote in person, bro. Yeah, you can't do this box. You got to go in person.
That's the thing, dude. That's the thing. There's so many, and that's going to be the next move. He's going to reduce the voting locations if they haven't done it already. So you're talking about people driving hours.
But Rashad, he's also calling for his own poll watchers. Yeah, mm-hmm. These guys, and they're supposed to be vetted. But as the president, you're saying we need y'all to go out and watch the polls. That's voter suppression, right there.
So he's not saying doing it the legal way. He's saying no, you should go out there with your guns and everything, and either block people from voting. Or talk about what? How are you gonna watch? You can't legally go inside the polling station.
It's supposed to be 150 feet
You're not
away.
a poll watcher. So what are you gonna watch? The only thing to do is intimidate people. That's the only thing. Poll watching.
Stand by and stay ready.
The zombie apocalypse is happening on election day. Dude, be ready.
It's happening right now. Shoot, right in front of our eyes.
Who started this man on these damn zombies today? Who was that?
Look, that's all I'm saying. They're gonna be coming out the woodwork.
We can't hear you, Marie. We can't.
He just came in.
Yeah, where have your mic? Peaches? What's up with it?
Yeah, you got to get closer.
Peaches need a drink, man. Peaches need a drink. Where your drink at, Peaches?
There you go.
Okay.
Hey, matter of fact, what y'all drinking? Let's take a pause for the cause. Peaches, what you drinking over there?
Margarita.
All right, this is my new mix. This is the lemonade one. I did it with a lemonade. I got you, Chad. I'm gonna come through. I'm gonna bring it to you if I don't finish this off.
Because you knew it was coming.
Yeah.
I'm sipping on some good old iced tea. There's no liquor in this. I got to go out driving after this. Yeah, so I'm sipping iced tea.
No Uncle Nearest.
They don't. Where we at, James?
What he just asked for?
Uncle Nearest.
Hey, that bottle looking a little light, brother. That bottle looking real light.
What you mean it look a little light?
I haven't had it yet. How does it go down?
How you gonna tilt it to make it look like there's more in the bottle?
Hold on. You need me to get another one? Let me get my other bottle.
The full bottle.
The full bottle. He read up. He ready to go.
This is my 93 proof right here.
Okay.
Damn, bro. You sipping the 93.
That's like fire.
Yeah, that's the fire
93 proof right here.
Yeah.
Now, hold on.
How does it go down, bro? I haven't had it yet. I haven't had any of them yet.
Well, this one is, I would say the bottle that's coming right now. Hold on. This is my 100 proof.
Ooh, okay. That looks like something that could be down with that one right there.
But this has more. This has more.
Like that'll put you down.
Well, to me, I don't have to chase it with anything. Either one of them, they smooth enough for like that.
Cool.
And this has more hint of caramel in it.
There you go. Right, yeah, that's exactly right up my alley.
Yeah.
So,
but
I'm just drinking pineapple guava with rum.
Well, but I was on the almighty Florida State, you see. Had a little lemonade.
You can take that cup and throw it out.
Hey, I'ma still stand with my team, even though I want the coach to go. Got a little lemonade right here. And then you take a little lemonade and you go ahead and
mix it up.
Top it on off. This is, if it was Jack Daniels, this would be a Lynchburg. What it is, a Lynchburg lemonade.
Okay.
I don't think we can go with that name anymore.
I have another name for it, but I'm not allowed to call it that on TV.
Okay, there we go.
So, okay, all right. So now that we have done our endorsements, which we might need to write them in and let them know we are officially endorsing, they can cut a check to the bridge.
Go Kamala.
It's in the works. It's in the works. Next thing you know, you'll see me with my Uncle Nearest shirt on.
Let's go. So speaking of which, we do have not only one woman in the building, but a woman who has also had the experience of running for political office. Marie, bring us in on tomorrow's debate, because Kamala coming in and they're gonna pigeonhole her as an angry Black woman. But she's gonna have to go with
Wednesday. So Wednesday.
Listen, she gonna have to listen.
That
she
is
better
tomorrow.
take her earrings out of her ear and go in.
She cannot put the Vaseline on her face before she
do one of these.
All
right, do all of this. All right, and get the shit together, because that's what I'm expecting. Take it. Look. I ain't wearing no nails today. It's whatever you want, however you want it. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see. If she come on stage in her sandals, you know a song. It's on the
comes on stage
she come in her house shoes, forget about it. Don't even talk. Just go home.
When she come on stage with them Timbs on, bro.
Well, as Denzel said in what's that movie that he won the
Training Day.
For? Training Day, when he had that gun underneath that, and he said, "Yeah, man, I'm surgical with that bitch." Like, she's gonna lay down, just like any prosecutor, just lay it down, structurally, instrumentally, rationally. And I just believe that she's gonna dissect them, piece by piece, whatever argument that they come with. And, just the very thought of them saying we oppose the safety aspect of the debate is just going to be, more sort of fuel to the fire, because for what reason do you give for not trying to enhance the safety when your boss is patient zero? And we don't know where you've been, Mr. Pence. We don't know where everybody else has been. But right now, we can tell that wherever he has been and whomever has been around him, they're dropping like flies.
Well, see, that's why I want Marie to talk through this, because understand, as a guy, this is how we feel, right? But I really need a woman's perspective, because I feel like they throw, especially Black women, I feel like they put us at certain disadvantages off rip. So Marie, if you could talk about it from a Black woman's perspective, especially having run, but then if you could also, this is a great point to bring us back to the she lens.
Well,
right?
let me ask her this before
go ahead.
She jump onto that. Do you think Ms. Harris will let what is his name, Mr. Pence, interrupt her like 45 was interrupting Biden?
I don't think she will. I think that she's going to stand firm. She has a lot of background that a lot of folks, especially Black folks, was not too proud of before she came on board. So even with her run for vice president, and before she even got the nomination, she faced a lot of scrutiny. She faced a lot of angry Black folks who said that, who tried to say that what she was doing when it comes to the White House is trying to get in so that she can have a little bit more power to continue what she was doing over in California. I like to say, people change. And I give examples on my run and back to Harris was people saw me for who I was. They saw me for the Black young lady who grew up in Six Trunk, who parents didn't have much, didn't have no money. Y'all don't even own a house over here, so you ain't even got no voice. You over here, you was on food stamps and living on Section 8. So even I got told, even by the commissioner, who I guess he's the mayor now, that I didn't have a face, I didn't have no money, and I was going to be at the bottom of the three. And I couldn't understand why, I was charged with that, because I wanted to do more than just be somebody in the community. With Harris, she's going to have to, they already put up a certain way you have to dress. I mean, my glasses, my dresses, my shoes, my nails, it all spoke to them more so than my character and my personality and the thought behind what I want to do for the community. They didn't hear none of that. They didn't see none of that. They only saw who I was as a person. They only saw that you live in Six Trunk, one of the most dirty areas of Fort Lauderdale, and you have all this baggage and all this. They didn't see all that. This is what I was judged off of. They didn't see me for the woman who raised the 4 children, the woman who won battle after battle, the woman who overcame many obstacles that kept me from being self-sufficient. So when I got tired of going through all that, I decided that I don't need Section 8. I don't need these food stamps. I can take care of my children just as well, finding a job and keeping a job and making sure that I am the community where I live and everything around me, such as employment, such as transportation, all that was equitable enough for me to get where I needed to be Marie Huntley in another form. Not just to call me Miss Peaches and say your daddy was this and your mama was that. When people started to learning my background, when they started to learning that my grandmother fed the first 4 Black doctors in the first Black hospital, because those doctors, Dr. Six Trunk and Dr. Brown and all of them, they delivered my mom, my aunt, my uncle. historical. My grandmother couldn't pay her bill, so how she paid off her bill, she actually fed the doctors, you know. So when people started saying that, they wanted to learn more about, you know, my history and who I really was and where I came from. What Kamala Harris is going to have to do is she's going to have to let her guard down just a little bit, not tighten up and squinch when people started asking her questions about, you know, her past and the things that she's done. Because anytime a person has overcome certain obstacles, anytime you have been put in a place where you didn't have a choice but to do something, or you didn't have a choice but to put something out there or set something in motion, you continue to be judged on that. And she's going to get a lot of that tomorrow. They're going to try to put her as this angry Black woman. They're going to try to make it seem as though that she's not worthy of being in the place that she's in. And they're going to talk down on her. He's going to throw questions at her that he's going to feel that she don't even know. And he don't even know what she know. He going to probably try to attack her character. And once he starts attacking her character, she's going to have to be real strategic in how she moves in that. Because everybody's looking at what she has to say. What makes you better than this white man? And there's a whole lot of stuff that make her better than him. But politics shut Black folks down. As a woman, I wasn't given this chance at a moment. I was already back down, pushed out the door, and they told me that I wouldn't make it through the race. And I know a lot of folks thinking that Kamala probably won't make it through the race either, but I proved to them that I'm not who you say I am. I'm not defined by man, especially white man. I'm defined by Marie and the creed that my family left inside of me, the way that I was born and raised to know what I qualify for and not what you think I don't qualify for. And she's there now. So she's going to have to hold her grounds, but she's going to have to be very strategic in how she words things and how she answers, you know, certain questions. You know, she's got the hate of the world on her back right now. So to get into that with them is what they're going to be looking to. They're going to be looking for her to strike back. But if she hold her ground as the better person for the job, as the more qualified person, with all the antics that she can have to bring to the table, with all the education that she has to bring to the table, with all the solutions that she has to bring to the table, I think she'll make it through.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. How do you feel? I know you said she needs to hold her ground, but I also want to talk about her past. Like you said, there's some choices she just had to make, you know, being in a position, doing the things that she was doing with the career that she decided to take and try to advance. You know what I mean? I think that, and I speak not just for her, but also for Black folks as a whole, some shit we just got to do. You know, Black folks, like, we don't want to do some shit we just got to, look, all right, we got to get through this. I know, we got to get through this, but just building, you know what I mean? Saying, all right, yeah, this is something that I had a challenge I had, I overcame that, and that's what makes me more qualified. Like you were saying, you know, you had struggles in your life, but those struggles are actually, in the things you overcame, actually make you qualified to help other people. It's not a detriment to you, to your
Right.
resume. It actually builds your resume. You see what I'm saying? And how she can transition that. Because I know there's a lot of pressure about her, you know, in some of the deals she struck or moves she made as a district attorney,
Right.
you know, from black folks or whatever. But I think that those are, knowing the system and having worked within the system, and also her stance as a senator now, you know, and how she's navigated and questioned some of the people from the Trump administration. I think those are actually building blocks for why she should be vice president, if not president. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm going Kamala 2024. I'm just saying, just putting it out there.
I mean, she went for the presidency, but she stepped down. So we have to, it makes you kind of wonder, you know, why she stepped down. But again, in the in the heat of the moment and in all the outrage and all the things that people said to me, including my own, I got most of the stuff from my own people more so than white folks. I mean, all of them. And the thing about it is, she had to make a conscious decision on whether she wanted to stay in the race or come out the race. Was it going to hurt her or was it going to make her better? The decision she made to step down from the beginning, I can't really say, why. I think she should have stayed in and fought that all the way to see how far she could have went. But to come back up, to go in as the vice president shows a whole lot of character that she has and shows that she has a plan. Shows her integrity, shows that she's not in it for personal gain, but she actually has a plan. And I believe that the plan that she has set forth, although I don't know it all fully, will be a very progressive one for the community, and not just the community as a whole, but not just the community as a whole when we include everybody in the fishnet, the community of Black people, because she realizes now that some of those moves that she made she wasn't thinking right. She didn't call some great shots, and it caused trust of the community to leave for a little while. It was doing caused the people, the very people that were supposed to be trusting her, to deny her. Now those people are saying, "Hey, look, that's what she did before. That's what she did before." Like they were saying to me, that was Miss Peaches before. But we know that Miss Peaches is progressive. She's for the people, by the people, all about the people, anytime, when the people, how the people do. And I believe that's who she is now.
I hear that.
Let's go. I love it, man. I mean, see, that's the perspective we need, because as men, we're very much straightforward. We don't necessarily care what you say about us, and you're not really going to come at a man about his accessories. If a Republican comes on with a blue tie, you may talk a little junk to him. You know what I'm saying? But we ain't gonna talk about, even Trump with his terrible toupees and stuff. But like you said, when you came on the scene, they was talking about your hair, your nails, your glasses. They was talking about everything except for your agenda. And that is why I asked you specifically to speak up about Kamala, because I wanted to hear from a woman's perspective. And I think that's what our audience needs to hear too, is how does a woman overcome that? Because they're gonna come at her about everything except for her agenda. In our country, we need that. Like, to be very, very factual, the thing that in my mind that has strengthened Joe Biden more than anything else was him picking Kamala.
Yeah.
Right? Because we know that she is going to provide the substance to his whole campaign.
Mm-hmm.
Right? When they had him pick Biden, they thought Biden was going to validate him, and it was the other way around. Biden did not bring the substance to Barack's campaign. Biden is not that guy.
Right.
But Kamala is. She's that lady. So, yeah. So, I mean, I really ain't got a question wrapped up in that. That was more of a statement.
That mindset that she has, she's gonna influence the switch in that mindset. As a matter of fact, I feel so strongly about her that she'll probably be calling most of the shots while he's in the seat, which will bring on a better America. They rejected.
You're gonna scare them white folks. You're gonna scare them white folks, Peaches. Be careful. Be careful. You're gonna scare you. You're gonna throw the election for us.
They rejected me.
Don't tell them yet. Don't tell them yet.
They rejected me, Rashad, but Chad Big Bro can vouch for me on this. They might have rejected me, but I was the reason behind Broward County winning the Robert Wood Johnson Award.
Yep.
I was one of the main people. As a matter of fact, I was the face of the award. Then I was the face of the president. He might have helped me co-found it, but I really founded it. And she just meant she could make a difference because I was on my run. But the she lens is at play because of a Black woman.
But yo, that's
a white man.
But see, that's the truth. That's the truth that America is scared to reckon with. The majority of the things that this country claims that it holds dear, the only reason they hold that dear, that they've been able to put those things up, are because of Black folks, Black women more specifically. All right, the way that people are able to immigrate to this country, the citizenship rights they have. Listen, I think I said this on the last two shows. White women and other foreigners get more out of equal rights and civil rights than Black folks ever have since it's been instated.
Yeah.
And we're constantly battling this fight. I mean, within ourselves, but also when we go out into the general public, of having great ideas, building a foundation, having the layout and the framework of everything, and then having to fuck around and pass it off to some white person just because they white, and somebody is going to listen to them just because they white. For no other reason. For no other reason. Not that they got a great damn idea, but you know what I'm saying? Just because they're at the table and have somebody's ear.
And that's why the she lens is such an important part, because the she lens is where you pretty much divide and we conquer. We get to say what's sustainable in our communities. We get to say what's healthy for our communities. And we get to tell y'all that what's equitable for your ass ain't necessarily equitable for us. That don't match over here like how it is over there for you. We need this. We don't need that. I was able to tell people in Six Trump, we don't need social workers. Y'all need to take them social workers over there to all them deranged white children. They need them more than we do. You know what I'm saying? We may be going through what we're going through, but that's not what our kids need. We need economics. We need employment. We need to make sure that women feel as though they can get their education enough to be self-sufficient in their own homes. They want to just be able to purchase their own insurance, to go pay for their own car note. They want to make sure that they can go purchase their own food without food stamps and pay their own rent on their house. Right. Those are the things that we tried to make come together. And again, the idea that I brought, Chad could tell you, they batted it down and put it to the back. From 10th to Wealth, which is one of my platforms, assisting Black women in getting education, self-care, employment, teaching them how to care for themselves, and giving them a $200 stipend after a 20-week program that'll put them in one of the 3 areas.
Right. And see, those are the, again, I feel Black folks ought to be independent, not Republican or Democrat, because when you have ideas like that, right, and that when you're talking about, all right, look, I don't want you to pay for nothing for me, just give me this opportunity to help me improve myself.
Right.
Well, one group, conservatives are like, well, pull yourself up by your bootstraps. And there you have a program that's structured for a people to pull themselves up, and one group ain't supporting it, and then the other group ain't supporting it. It's not that we don't have ideas. It's not that we don't know what we need. It's just that we're not getting the support we need to implement these concepts and these ideas. We got to put it off to somebody else in the hopes that they give enough of a damn, to maybe allow our vision and our needs to actually be heard at that conversation when they break up the money.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the shit that pissed me off.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is,
go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead, Marie. Now, I was gonna say that they shot down your ideas, and I've seen them do it. They did. Honestly, they did it with Kamala too. They shoot down the ideas when it's you running, but then either when they win or when you're out, they want to incorporate them. And then on the low, they was constantly asking, I saw it with you, they was constantly asking you for your opinion, or can you mobilize this? Or can you put people here? Can you do that? You know, so it has always been that tactic of it's either got to be my idea or I've got to take it from you. And that's where, you know, going back to what Rashad was saying about us being independent and not necessarily going straight as Republican and Democrat has some merit, because we've by and large given up a lot of our power. Now, this may not be the exact right time to have that convo, because as of right now, we need everybody voting, and we need everybody voting blue, vote Democrat, you know, for this time. But we also got to get into the Senate. But I tell you this, though, as soon as we get Biden and Kamala in that White House, we need to really be seriously considering how we're going to move our political powers. But I'm off my soapbox. Chef Ari, I know you. I feel like you're itching to jump into this convo here, but you've been holding on. You know, if you're not, we can pass it up. But I just, you know, I saw you looking.
Look here, man. We 1 month away. Literally 1 month away. And I've been decided since 2016, November 7th. I've been ready since November 7th, 2016. All right. Yeah, we all went through this disillusion. We were shocked. We were in shock and blah, 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 all of that stuff. But now we 1 month away. And the thing that still puzzles me, though, with the binary choice that we have, there's no other choice. You know, the people who are saying, I'm undecided. Okay, that perplexes me.
Yeah, I agree.
And I'm with, you know, when I, you know, listen to The Rock and I listen to, you know, a couple of, you know, other stars, basically, right now I'm not knocking anybody for who you're going to vote for, but I think you should stop telling people you undecided. You should maybe stop. You should, you know, tell people, you know what, what's really in your heart. You know, but because people are interviewing you and you on TV and you in front of the camera, oh, I'm undecided. You know exactly what the hell you're going to do. So just go vote. Right? But, you know, for the people that in the group of people who, the 100 million people that did not vote the last election, those people need to get off their asses and go vote. If they haven't registered already, well, you know, if you're in Florida, you missed the deadline. That was today. They got the extension because, you know, the website just miraculously crashed yesterday while Biden is giving his speech. The website miraculously.
Of course. These are not coincidences.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead, Chef.
How coincidental? Yeah, most definitely. You know, so I'm just saying, you know, I said to my niece earlier, you know, when I see people like, you know, Luke and, you know, blah, 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 is reaching out to the campaign and saying how, you know, the campaign is never going to win Florida because people like him and Rick Ross and Trina and blah, blah, blah are not involved in the say-so. I'm like, you know, I said what I said to her. I'm not gonna, you know, I don't have to repeat what I said to her here, but you know,
maybe not verbatim, but you can give us a little bit. You can give us just a touch.
Some people just want to be in the say so. You know, the validation that you get for being in the say so. You know, of course, you know, yeah, they're local people, and yeah, they want to be involved in the say so, and you know, that's all I'll say about that. But we have no room for error. You know, it's a binary choice.
No margin.
And if you feel that the last 4 years was so great that you would give them another 4 years, have at it.
Yeah.
You know, have at it. You know, that's your choice. You know, but if you're on the other side and you're just looking at the decimation, you know, it literally took 2 weeks out of this year for everything to go, for the shit to hit the fan. That's all it took. 2 weeks. That's all it took. 2 weeks, not 7 months. It took 2 weeks for the shit to hit the fan here in this country, all because of the poor leadership that we had. Everybody making decisions for political reasons. They've taken away the needs of the people right now when they say they must stop negotiating for the stimulus just so that they can focus on getting and ram through the SCOTUS nominee.
Yes,
people are being literally not hundreds, not thousands, millions of people right now are being evicted. Millions.
And because of that, with the effects, the financial effects that are going to ripple through this country in a few months are going to be crazy. We've never seen anything like that.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm talking about you've never seen, our country's never seen anything like that. But by and large, it's people that look like us that are being affected.
It's people. So, our people is going to get hit.
My daughter got hit. She's getting evicted no matter what. So we see
and that's why, like what Ari's saying, man, that's why we can't be on the fence. Right? Because
I think that I'm sorry, Chad. I think that the people who are saying that they're undecided are Trump supporters in hiding. This straight up. I'm gonna call it what it is. Everybody I know that's undecided voted for Trump last time.
Yeah, and they don't want to say it.
Yes, they did.
Straight up. They claim they're registered Republicans who claim they're independent. They voted for Trump last time, black, white, or indifferent. They're Trump supporters who have a bad taste in their mouth, who are undecided on whether they want to vote for Trump again. That's undecided.
Think about
because,
that
Rashad,
population.
how can you still know? How can you still not know? How can you still not understand that nothing has been in your favor? So you keep saying, ain't nothing working for us. They ain't listening to us anyways. Ain't nobody listening because you ain't got up off the couch to go say nothing.
So there's a group of people who are non-voters, but I'm not. Those are non-voters. Those people I think you're talking about, Peaches, are the people that are non-voters. They're not listening to us. I'm talking about people who are undecided. They vote, but they're undecided. Fucker, you ain't undecided. You just voted for Trump last time.
But see, this is why the polls are skewed, right? If you look at the polls this time last year, right, last election, they had Hillary winning by a similar margin, but the polls were skewed because there's so many people that are not going to tell you they're voting for Trump. Right. And that's where it's dangerous right now, which is why those undecided voters have to come out. In particular, we need new voters. We need that 18 to 25 age range. That range right there is literally the decision makers. Those are going to be the people that set us up for either.
And see, Chad, so, when we talk about local elections matter. Understanding the aspect of voting and what we're voting for and who we're voting for, even in the general election, understanding why one party, Republican Party right now, they had 3 things that were important to them: judges, tax cut, and what was it? There was
abortion.
And what?
Abortion, because the Catholic, the religious.
Those 3 things that were important to them, and they hammered that shit home like it was going out of style, because they understood that. But on the other side, well, you got tree huggers, and we got, people for the EPA, and we got people for the environment, and we fight.
We gotta have a talk about
we're trying to eat our own. We try to eat our own young. We can't come together. We can't coalesce because we're so kind of divided sometimes.
QAnon.
You know.
So hold on. What's wrong? Well, I'm gonna just put this out. Did I spell that right? What's wrong with the
people who are
you know why you can't spell Rashad? Because you're drinking that honey mead out of a beaker. You're drinking the honey mead out of a measuring cup.
Now, boy.
That's
I'm
why
so
you can't.
done.
It's a measuring cup. It's not a coffee mug. You drink. I just realized you was drinking out of a measuring cup, and that's why I'm looking at you crazy.
Yo,
and
I finished this. This is a yo.
Do you see this? Y'all see this? This guy here. This guy. This guy.
Yeah, I'm so right. But you know what the problem with them? I'm gonna tell you what I don't want to say it, but I'm gonna say it any damn way. You know what the problem with the Democratic Party is? Everybody say it all together. White people. Motherfuckers are so fickle, dude. White people. It's just white people. And I've been pondering this. And people, you know how folks say, well, Barack didn't do that much for black folks when he was in office. You know why? Because he was one black man in office dealing with like 98 white folks in the Senate. And they was like, I don't know how they gonna do.
And even though he had the Senate and the Congress for the first 2 years, they still wasn't passing the agendas.
The white folks in the Senate was scared. They were scared of what? Their white electorate, right?
Yeah, but when it came time to do what they needed to do, all of them were behind each other to stop him. All of them. There's like, this is what we're gonna do because this is the mandate, and they all fell in lockstep. All right.
So fellas, I gotta do a quick pause because as you see, my internal alarm clock is going off over here. It's all over my face with them yawns. We gotta go into our 2-minute wrap up. So Marie, this is a segment of the conversation where everybody takes 2 minutes to give their final thoughts and paraphrase whatever they think people should know. So in this 2 minutes, these are our sound bites. This is hey, if you missed this whole damn episode, here's what you should know, takeaways. So you, as our guest, get the privilege of going last. But the fellas, y'all get the privilege of going first. So 2 minutes means 2 minutes. Mr. J, you want to count off who should speak first, or you want me to do it, Mr. J?
We can go Rashad.
All right.
All right. I got 3 things to say. This is good. That's for 1. 2, get your ass out, go fucking vote. And 3, go wash your nasty ass hands and put on a face mask. All right, that's it.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'm done.
Yippee-ki-yay.
All right, Ira, you want to go next, or you want me to take it?
Oh my God. Shit. I actually just got my ballot in the mail today. So I feel like Christmas came early. So now so from a prepare, because the whole thing is have a plan and be prepared. So before we have some time before early voting starts here in Florida, because I don't know who else is this, but I'm speaking to the people here in Florida. You've gotten your ballot, whether it's your regular ballot or your sample ballot. Make sure you have gone over that thing and you understand what it is these amendments and stuff are. Understand the correct things. There between now and another few weeks, there'll be tons of programs on the radio and elsewhere that are explaining to you exactly what these amendments and other things are. Listen to them. Go find the information. If you don't want to mail your ballot in, fill out that ballot that you got in the mail and take that shit right down to the booth and drop it off. If you can't make it to the supervisor of elections, you can do that. You can fill out your ballot, sign it and everything, and drop it off at the poll booth. That way you don't have to wait in line to vote. So all I'm saying right now, and I'm encouraging people, exercise your civic duty and the right that you have to go out there and vote, and don't let anybody intimidate you. Done.
All right, I'm gonna pick up on what Rashad and Irie said and say we need to do all that what they said, and I'm gonna add on to it. Everybody needs to go vote. Once you vote and this election over, all bets are off. We owe no one allegiance. Everything they get, they need to earn our vote, no matter who they are. If it's a Democrat, if it's a Republican, if they riding with our agenda, we riding with them. But if they not riding with our agenda, fuck them. And once, and like I said, in office, hold their feet to the fire if they said they riding with our agenda. We are not going to accept anything less than what you said you was going to do once you got in office. We owe no one allegiance. They owe allegiance to us because we are the people.
Yo, so I'm gonna echo everything that the fam just said, right? And I'm gonna build on it to this extent. We need to start a 10-year plan right now that allows us to take this country in the way it should have been after Barack. As my man Charlemagne says, this country should have got younger, it should have got blacker, and it should have had more women in charge, right? We have to set a 10-year plan from now. Like you said, Republicans came in, they had their things, they had their agenda. We need an agenda, and it does not need to be a Democratic agenda or a Republican agenda. It needs to be an agenda that addresses the needs of Black people and brown people across this country, of the true minorities, not white women, right? And it needs to be an agenda that can be put in place with or without their support, because we know how crucial we are in numbers and in terms of dollars and other stuff, and we have the resources now to do it. But it requires advanced planning, and it requires the right weaponry. You know what I'm saying? If we're gonna play this game, we gotta play the right game, which means we gotta fight it with the right tools. We gotta come at them the right way, and we have to plan and strategize and build together. And most importantly, we've got to pull our automatic allegiance. As James said, it is earned. We will vote our interest. We will carry that torch, and we will hold your feet to the fire, and we will plan and strategize and move forward. But for this week and next week and the week after, if I'm gonna leave you with one thing, you take everybody in your household, all your cousins, your mama, them, and your aunties to go vote. Everybody must vote. And any child in your house over 18, well, they're adults then, they must vote too. Go vote. All right, Marie, take us out. Let's get it.
Well, as the Black woman once said, I'm going to sign and seal this with this. You don't heard it all from these Black kings on here. And you don't need to hear any more of this from me, except that we can continue to complain about the way things look, but we also got to remember that we can change the way things look. It is up to us to take back this fight. Let's go make history again by electing our first Black vice president, because she gonna move some mountains. She gonna stomp and trample all over some serpents, and she gonna make sure our communities are locked and loaded. I know some of them are some of y'all undecided. I even know some of y'all ain't even signed up to vote. But I'd rather have somebody undecided go out there and decide on voting the right way for Biden and Kamala than somebody who sitting back complaining about why they not voting. Get up, take your rights back, because complaints are just what they are. They are only complaints. Nothing gets done complaining. Put some action to those words, get up off that couch and move your feet. And if our children are gonna have a future, If our children are going to be able to carry out our legacies, parents, get your ass up, move your feet, and get people like Chef Chad say to them polls. Y'all ain't got no other choice. This is mandatory. Go vote.
There you go. And just remember too that our vote is not just a singular vote for ourselves. Remember, we are also voting for people who cannot go out and cast a vote. We are voting for them too. Okay, we are voting for them too. All right. So it's not just me casting my vote for me. We're casting votes for people who are not able to cast a vote for themselves right now.
That's right. That's right.
And if I got to take ballots, go to their houses, them, and get those ballots and take them in for. We can do our work. We can do the work.
Yeah, y'all. So, I mean, with that, for all my people watching, all my people out there, understand all my people that are going to see this. This has been another episode of The Bridge. This is King Talk Live, barbershop talk, right, at its finest. Every weekend, every week, Tuesday nights at 9, we're going to come to you. We're going to bring you some good topics. As you see, this week was a good mix of both, man. We had some comedy, some brevity, some good conversation in the beginning, and we ended it off talking about voting rights and politics because that's what we do. That's how the barbershop conversation is going to swing. We're going to go from one extreme to the other, all in 30 minutes to an hour while you getting fresh. So understand, if you are continuing conversations in your community, then you are advancing good ideas. That's what we need to do. This dialogue must be shared and must be had. I want to thank Marie. Thank you so much, Marie Peaches Huntley, for coming on all the way from Colorado. Different time zone joined in out there, man. All the way out there. Thank you so much. You have been insightful and impactful this evening. I also want to thank, all the fellas again, man, and just say to all the people out there, we're going to see y'all next week. And how we end up, brothers? It's The Bridge.
The Bridge.
The Bridge.